Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 15 of season 3 of our F1 Championship Edition career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Temple of Speed for the Italian Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live a few days ago from Istanbul, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But we've had some exciting news through from the team. Yes, they have promoted me to #1 driver to the end of the season, so looking forward to hopefully delivering for them. Hopefully that'll mean, you know, some of the teams higher up the order as well are going to be interested in our services. We have had one contract offer come through in recent times, except for it's from Midland again. Like an ex-girlfriend that keeps ringing me back, Midland are desperate for me to return to them by the end of the season. No, I will not be signing that contract anytime soon. Of course, get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're trying to hit 7k subs before F125 comes out in just a few weeks' time. But yeah, fingers crossed though. Obviously, we just missed out on points last weekend. Maybe we can get a top 10 today. Or top 8, I should say.
Welcome to Monza for this afternoon's qualifying session. An hour of high-speed exhilaration and excitement starts here. Session 1 is about to get underway, so let's see who makes the grade and who doesn't.
Well, of course, heading out then into qualifying, we all know this place is going to be all about the slipstream this weekend. I've tried to set the car up to be as low downforce as I sensibly can get away with it. You can already see just how much speed we're able to pick up by the time we get in towards that second chicane, but yeah, again, this is kind of a circuit where I can't expect to see too many massive surprises. I think we'll probably be hoping to maybe scrape Q3, get a good start, make some places up early on, and then basically try to survive. Hopefully we won't get taken out like we did last weekend, because that did really cost us a good shot at points. Well, although the three backmarker teams, of course, are running less power than everybody else, and their cars aren't as efficient in a straight line, the pace deficit here should be a little bit less as well. The whole field should be bunched up a little bit more as we're trying to get a bit of a tow off of the, I believe it's the Super Aguri just in front of me. But yeah, this circuit feels so different on a wheel. It actually feels like, you know, modern Monza, which is absolutely fantastic there as we approach speeds of 200 miles an hour. Obviously, the first generation of the V8 still were very, very quick. Well, in a straight line. Not when you do that, though. Completely lock the rears up at the final corner. That's going to ruin our first run then. Hopefully we can still get a slipstream. There's Luizzi top of the board. Don't think, yeah, we're going to be any quicker than him, actually, out of the first run. We actually go a second slower. And why? Why immediately brake on the racing line while someone's slipstreaming you? How stupid is that? It was actually a real concern when Formula 1 entered 2006 because Toro Rosso had been given the old Minardi V10 engines. Everybody thought that they would have a huge advantage on the power-orientated circuits. Now, they'd only scored 1 point all year, I believe, back at Indianapolis, so didn't end up kind of being the problem everybody thought it would be. But they've definitely got some good top-end speed there. Luizzi, half a second clear of the drop zone with his first run, and I believe, yeah, Scott Speed as well, also up outside of it. So Jacques Villeneuve struggling. Obviously myself still in the drop zone as well, and we've only got one chance to try and beat a 125 flat from Mark Webber. Carl's definitely got it in it though, so we should be able to get there. Well, I really don't want to spend this entire qualifying session getting screwed over by Midlands and Super Aguris, and we've already been screwed over by Super Aguri, so let's hope that a Midland isn't going to do the same then. 3/10 up by the end of Sector 2, but we know obviously we made that huge mistake in the final sector on our previous run. Huge slipstream, so we make our way down in towards the final couple of corners. Nice and easy on the brakes though. Don't nick the curb on the inside or run a little bit wide on the exit. We should be able to use the second of those Midlands as well to give ourselves a run back towards the start-finish line. 125 flat is what we're looking to beat. We will do a 24.5. Good enough, but still not fantastic. Well, there we go then. Disappointment for Scott Speed, as it was Mark Webber that improved right at the end there to knock him out in Q1. Jacques Villeneuve down in P19. A very, very disappointing effort for him. Montero almost 2 seconds clear of Christian Albers, and the Super Aguris will line up at the rear of the field. Well, after the first runs then here in Q2, Ferrari look to be the team to beat right now, and of course we've got a Ferrari engine in the back of this car. Yes, very, very weird that Red Bull, of course, was Ferrari powered, but that was kind of where Red Bull was at in their early days back in Formula 1. But as we try and get the power down then out of that final corner, Let's try and go for another run as Fisichella now rockets to top spot. 200 miles an hour there. You want to spot the braking at the 100-meter board, trying to attack the curbs through 1 and 2. And we are hopefully getting a bit of a slipstream from the cars behind. Yes, it sounds stupid. Yes, it's also real in this game. Well, this is the one scary bit. We've got a McLaren and a Ferrari right up my trumpet. You're just so worried they're going to dive bomb you, which I'm pretty certain one of them tried to do then. Christian Klein currently up inside the top 10. Of course, David Coulthard now removed from this series and replaced by, I believe, yeah, Klein was Austrian, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty certain he was Austrian. I mean, I'm sure he still is. But getting the power down then out of the final corner. On the run back towards the line, Fisichella on a 1:22.2. We want to try and beat a 24.1 set by our teammate here. I think it's going to be very close. 23.9. Happy with that. Not sure I can find a lot more, though, as we did get a lot of slipstream. But there we are, then. That 1:23.9 was enough to see us through into Q3. Liuzzi, sorry, I should say. A bit disappointed to be 4 seconds off the pace of anybody else in Q2. But we're into Q3 yet again then. But I've got no idea what I'm going to do in terms of strat here. We just have not got the power to compete. So I think I might just load the car up with fuel and start from 10th. All eyes then will be on Michael Schumacher as we get ready for qualifying 3. I've basically opted to run the car with as much fuel as sensibly I can here, just to open up strategy come race day Sunday. But yeah, great, thank you. He's literally starting a run. The AI on this game never ceased to blow my mind of just how bad they are. I'm happy then at the end of that session that Schumacher did get a little bit screwed over. Jenson Button, though, will take pole position. Similar vibes to my 2003 career mode then at the moment. Felipe Massa, Nico Rosberg, and Giancarlo Fisichella line up in your top 4 slots. So a very, very mixed up grid then. I can only assume Rosberg and Button are running very low on fuel, but advantage in the championship now looks to go the way of Massa.
Turn up the volume and get ready for the Italian Grand Prix, coming to you live from Monza. Monza is one of the classic circuits, and it's also the quickest on the Formula 1 calendar. That means we'll see the cars reaching top speeds of around 230 miles per hour over the course of this Italian Grand Prix. Thousands of Italian race fans are here in force today to witness what promises to be another high-octane dose of F1 action. It's a clear day here at the moment, good visibility for the drivers. On pole it's Jenson Button. Second on the grid is Felipe Massa. It's a respectable third for Nico Rosberg. Giancarlo Fisichella completes row 2. Fifth is Fernando Alonso. Jarno Trulli will start from P6. Michael Schumacher lines up in 7th. Juan Pablo Montoya starts from 8th.
The team, again, just like last weekend, think we can score some points here, and especially with a mixed-up grid, who knows what's going to happen at the Temple of Speed there. Even the autopilot can't keep us on the road right now, so no idea how the AI are going to cope as well. But I'm looking forward to this one. Christian Klein alongside me. Would love to see our teammates score some points by the end of the year. Still optimistic to think we could beat Toyota, but I'm not going to give up. You know, we're going to try our hardest to get as close to them as we can. A couple of wins for us would make it possible.
It seems like an age full of drivers waiting for the lights to signal the start of the race. Go, go, go!
Well, as always then, getting off to a fairly good start there. We'll try and have a look past a few people. Goodbye, Michael Schumacher. See what it's like into turn 1 then. I'm expecting chaos.
Into the first corner. Massa leads out of the first turn. He's followed by Button. Next is Nico Rosberg.
Oh, no, I don't want to be 3 wide off there. Yep, we'll make it work apparently. Jarno Trulli getting a little bit squeezed out. I thought Schumacher would get good drive off of that first corner, but apparently not. So we'll try and just slot it in as all. He tries to cover me off into the next chicane there, but unperturbed by the Ferrari man, and straight up then into 6th place on lap 1. You can already see Rosberg perhaps struggling a little bit more. Felipe Massa moving straight up into the lead of the Grand Prix, and there's contact again with myself and Michael Schumacher. I do not like that man inside this game. He is easily one of the most aggressive drivers on the grid, and it is very, very awkward to try and race with him or dive bomb you more than anybody else, as we will just try and go defensive in towards Ascari on lap 1. Oh, no, I'm going to get a corner cut penalty. That's not good. 6 seconds? Are you having a laugh? A 6-second penalty for that seems a little bit crazy. We will just try and cover off as many cars as we can then. Montoya and Raikkonen both moving by. Jarno Trulli, he's not had the lap one he would have wanted, as, again, the back end trying to break free at the final corner.
You should have optimum grid levels now.
That has been a very, very chaotic lap one, but we have just about survived. To be honest, today, in a weird way, I kind of want to see rain at the end of this, because I've got a lot of fuel on board. There we go, banging pretty much off the red line. Will I get dive bombed? Yes, I will.
Looks like this. Massa is first. Button is second. Fisichella third. He's up from fourth. Fourth is Alonso. Rosberg is fifth. Michael Schumacher sixth. Montoya is seventh. You're eighth.
Well, there you go, Rosberg there not having the best start in the world. So we made another mistake. That's probably going to be another slowdown penalty. Yep, another 6 seconds. That seems fair. That was a bit like Lawson back at Jeddah a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember. There's more and more cars streaming through. I thought that was a Super Aguri then.
Yet, positive mental attitude, you'll soon take back that position.
Oh, come on. It's so awkward, this circuit. Honestly, I don't know how you managed to mess up Monza, but they have managed to do so on this game. It's mainly because the AI are absolute maniacs, but down in towards the scurry again then. Just trying to fend from the cars around us.
1 second faster for the second sector.
Oh, no, no. Ah, try and keep it out of the wall. I'm sure we're going to get a slowdown penalty anyway. Despite the fact we've spanned that time around, it was all my own doing.
21st.
Oh, man, I hate this track on this game. It's awful. Are we going to get a slowdown penalty as well? Oil's down. So someone else has had some issues here. No idea who that is. Oh, I think that's a McLaren. Raikkonen. Going to be one of our first retirements of the day then. So disappointment for Kimi as he gets sent to the Shadow Realm. But it's taken me to 1/3 distance in this race before we've had a properly clean lap here. That's not great at the moment. Still only Raikkonen our one retirement from this race. And I feel like we have got good pace in the car. There we go. We definitely got the straight line speed to get past one of the Super Aguris. So hopefully we can just start flying back through. I believe it's Barrichello that is our final... No, it's Nick Heidfeld at the moment in that last points-paying position. So that's where we've got to try and get back to. No chance of rain as well. Brundle's just confirmed that. So my strategy can't save us either. Oh, how early does that Midland want to brake, man, and then just sit on the racing line through that final corner? I mean, we just need to be trying to carve our way through. These guys shouldn't be difficult to overtake, but they can be quite difficult as they make it awkward for us. Scott Speed already in. Tyre wear also not looking fantastic, but I guess we've got some flexibility with that. That is, I believe, 202 miles an hour. That, I think, is VMAX in this Red Bull with this setup. Well, I've requested from the team then that we box a bit earlier, especially when we know, you know, the weather isn't going to have a factor or anything like that. These I believe they're soft compound tyres. I'm pretty certain the best strategy to go with on this game is that you just box like 1 lap before half distance, because that's probably, you know, soft to hard tyres is where it makes the most sense. But let's see if we can get a nice, quick, tidy stop. Helps when I actually press all the buttons. Don't have much fuel going in, so that shouldn't hopefully take long. 10.4. Better than last weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I think we ran at 11.5 last time out. So not going to complain, but yeah, I think the goal by the end of this is someone seems to have dropped out of the Grand Prix. Please don't say they broke up on pit lane exit. No idea where the oil is. Oh, that's a lot of understeer through turn 1. But yeah, we've lost another car. I believe it might have been a back marker. Well, we are trying to set fast lap times towards the end of the afternoon, and the pace just does not seem to be coming to us here. We're running 124 flat, and we're taking a bit out of Luizzi and Scott Speed. At this point, any place we gain is kind of just saving face, as that'll be another penalty. How can the steering be so bad yet so good all at the same time? It makes no sense. Around in the final corner then, Felipe Massa going to make it back-to-back victories then. I believe it's also back-to-back wins here at the Temple of Speed.
Massa in P1 has begun his last lap. Alonso is behind him in second place.
Last lap, Felipe Massa looked like he could win it.
Well, that is going to be another big result for the Ferrari man, who I thought he'd take the lead last weekend. He was 1 point.
Top 8 drivers at the moment are Massa is first, Alonso is second. Button is third. Fourth is Fisichella. Michael Schumacher fifth. Montoya sixth. Heidfeld is in seventh. And Barrichello is in eighth.
Well, if Alonso wants to stay in this title fight, he needs to start chalking up a couple of victories, but Fisichella and Michael Schumacher doing their best job at the moment to try and lose this World Championship. For us, though, this has simply been a terrible race. I don't know what I can say. So many corner cut penalties, just, it feels like there's no consistency in the car around this venue. I mean, we might just be able to get past Scott Speed on this last lap, but I'm not even optimistic we're going to be able to do that anymore. And well, if we finish behind both Toro Rossos, that's pretty terrible. Even if we just split them, it's still not ideal. But Massa then, through the final couple of corners, is he finally allowed to start believing? Are Ferrari going to allow both of their drivers to go for it in these final few races? 3 races to go with the World Championship. Felipe Massa will get another victory on the board.
Massa races past the checkered flag for the maximum 10 points and top spot on the podium. Alonso should hang on to finish second.
I think the worst position now he can finish is P18 because a few of those cars have gone a lap down, but I'm trying everything I can to try and just get a little bit closer to Scott Speed here. You know, even if we can just get one last move, might help me out. First race getting promoted to #1 driver from Red Bull, and it's not been a good look, but at least we've got a bit more to fall back on. Maybe they'll bring Coulthard immediately back into the team. Ready for Shanghai next weekend. Of course, that will hopefully be a much, much better circuit for us as we try and get the slipstream off of Scott Speed. We know those Toro Rossos aren't great out of the final corner, but I don't think it's going to be enough here unless we absolutely nail it. Get the power down. We are going to be close to him by the time we get on the run towards the line. Will Scott Speed be able to hang on? We are gaining. It's not going to be enough, though. Speed will hang on for 16th.
Monza never fails to impress, and this season has been no exception. We've seen these V8 cars at full stretch here today, heading down the main straight and into the first chicane, and I can tell you, anyone who said that the V8s would be somehow slow compared with the V10s will quickly withdraw that comment. These are mightily impressive cars, and I think this season is just getting better and better. We must now sadly take an extended break due to the cancellation of the Belgian Grand Prix earlier this year. Join us again in October when we travel east to Shanghai, followed by Japan for the closing part of the season. See you then.
Well, there we are. Just Christian Albers and Kimi Räikkönen that failed to see the checkered flag. And what was that? Less than 2 tenths between myself and Scott Speed there. A dramatic end to the Grand Prix as well. But Felipe Massa, yet another victory on the board now, means he has got a 4-point lead at the top of the table. I believe mathematically then, Räikkönen does still have a shot at the championship, but he needs Massa to fail to score between now and the end of the year. So effectively, it is a 4-car fight there. Heidfeld points again. Means he is now back ahead of Jacques Villeneuve in the World Championship. Constructors-wise, though, Ferrari 12 points the buffer now, ahead of Renault as well. We are still in P6 there, but Sauber are closing in rapidly towards the end of the year. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll be back very soon ready for the Chinese Grand Prix.